I had this one other story to share with you. Again, I was looking at Business Insider. I'm a businessman, y'all. I'm a big businessman.
You are a news guy.
Yeah, and I was looking at Business Insider, and then I was turned over to Fortune, and I saw a familiar face, a guy that we've talked about before, and a particular convention that I'm sad it's come and gone now because I said on this show I wanted to attend this, and of course this is Fortune magazine's behind the scenes of this tech billionaire's Don't Die Summit as extreme biohacking becomes a dominant wellness trend. So we are, of course, talking about one of the early investors / kind of founders of Venmo, a guy named Bryan Johnson, not AC/DC Bryan Johnson, but the weird shitty one. And
I don't want to die. The highway to hell's never seen me.
The highway to hell is endless for this guy. So on Saturday, what looked like hundreds of people swore off Manhattan's bottomless brunch scene to attend an all-day longevity summit to learn the hacks of living longer.
I hate that first sentence so fucking much.
This is the most I have not left the tri-state area in 50 years opening ever.
Not a lot of good going on there.
Yeah. Attendees of I love the price, $349 Don't Die Summit tried red light therapy, discovered their biological age, and learned from self-proclaimed most measured man in history how to, simply put, not die. So have you heard of this guy, Fifi, Bryan Johnson?
No, but I've heard of people like this. Like, I know Peter Thiel does a similar thing, and he looks like a fucking melting wax figure.
This guy is like...
He does. He looks like a freak.
So, like, Peter Thiel's focus, he does all that stuff, but his main focus is just being an evil fuck.
Yeah.
It's like if Peter Thiel diverted his energy away from political power and just focused on having blood boys and stuff like that, which this person does have a blood boy, and it's his teenage son. So, yeah, it could be allegedly argued that he had a child specifically to have his blood transfused into him so he can live forever.
Fucking Elizabeth Bathory? What the fuck is wrong with this guy?
Oh, yeah.
No one's ever been more afraid of death than this man.
Yeah, we talked about this guy on the podcast maybe about a year ago, and literally he was going to like an island off the coast of Honduras to get like treatments. I'm like, it's Dr. Moreau. It's the island of Dr. Moreau. Yeah. This happened. Not only is this science fiction, this is like one of the first science fiction stories. So, tech millionaire turned biohacker Bryan Johnson, the star of a recent Netflix documentary. Again, this is kind of what you're talking about with Paramount Plus. I'm like, where's the advertisement?
I have to say I did see this.
You did see this.
yeah, but like I am all in on the Netflix true crime things. So
I typically am too. I didn't know that this guy had a documentary, or perhaps it was one of those where I saw it on my phone and I was half asleep and I was like, I can't deal with this guy right now.
Yeah.
Like I kind of need to be awake and focusing and not just being angry as I pass out in my bed. But so Netflix documentary is called Don't Die, The Man Who Wants to Live Forever. And Bryan took center stage to deliver a sermon-like plea to an eager crowd about the power of health optimization to extend life, many walking around the center's longevity amusement park. So he's got
that sounds like a not fun amusement park.
Yeah. Oh, I think it's
you're just trying to live forever. That's no roller coaster. Nothing where your heart rate goes up.
See, the reason I think I said this the first time we talked about it, but the reason I want to go to this is like nothing makes me happier than seeing rich people get ripped off by snake oil salesmen.
Yeah.
And the fact that it costs $350 to get in here, like nobody has statistically speaking, most Americans do not have $350 of disposable income, let alone for something this fucking stupid.
Yeah.
So you can kind of assume everybody in here is like, yeah, give it to the Flim Flam, man. You've earned this ripoff. But yeah, he's got the Longevity Amusement Park, which is a conference area that houses over 20 booths selling supplements, skincare, and high-tech aging hacks. And he was walking around here with a t-shirt that said, "Don't Die," written in bold. And there was also a guy just dressed as the Grim Reaper walking around the conference as well. And I love that Fortune notes it is not clear whether or not he was official or just that's how a guy dressed up to go to the convention.
No, that is marketing.
I didn't know it was like Comic-Con. People,
if they would lower the price to get in here, this would get so much weirder. you know?
That's so funny.
Because as it is now, it's just a bunch of weird software guys that don't have anywhere else to put their money, just being like, oh, I don't know, I guess I'll eat, 20 pounds of banana peels and whatever, clean out my colon or whatever the shit they're doing.
Well, to be fair to these immortal people, like if you were a tech billionaire, would you be in any hurry to like face God with yourself? I mean,
Very good point.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and, the other point, like kind of the flip side of that too, is like, what are you preserving? What life do you live that you want? You're like, yes, more of this forever.
Yeah.
It's like you sit in an air-conditioned room all day.
Also, have you ever seen a 90-year-old? No amount of blood transfusion is going to make your bones not disintegrate.
Right. Yeah. You're going to get to a certain point. If you are blessed to live long enough, you will get to a certain point. You're like, I'm cool with going.
There's a foolproof way to look younger than you are. It's called taking estrogen. So why don't you do that, you bitch?
There you go. So while on stage, he was joined by his doctor, Mike Mallon, to review his biomarkers live. And he shared his protocols, which include a 4:30 a.m. wake-up call, an 18-hour fast, a diet of 130 grams of protein daily, no cheat days, and a strict calorie count with the motto, quote, "Every calorie in my body fights for its life."
Yeah, that's not unique. That's like fucking amoebas and shit.
So Johnson is famous for taking dozens of supplements daily, testing his body regularly, and taking extreme measures in pursuit of becoming as biologically young as possible. So this is
what kind again, he said he was given a test on stage. What sort of flim-flam test, as you said?
Well, so he's got this fake doctor who is, and we talked about this last time we talked about this guy. His doctor is just like, he's paid a man to go out and publicly say, okay, so you think Bryan is in his 40s, but biologically he's actually 21.
Wow.
Like they test his tissue or something. They're like, wow, you have the arm flab of a of a 13-year-old or whatever.
People are so stupid. This is when you realize like everyone at this thing can vote.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
Oh, and they
That's
do.
fucking frightening.
This is phrenology. It's just fucking 21st century phrenology.
Absolutely. At one point during the summit, an image of a silhouette of a middle-aged man appeared on screen behind him with the quote, "Never let your mind decide." I was like, that is cults 101.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't believe your lying eyes. Don't let your mind decide.
You know, I hate to be all, little miss sensible about it, but like, how about you just like eat your vegetables and like go to bed on time? And
Yeah.
you know what I mean? It's a biohack. No, it's just like living healthily in a
I feel like one day
God.
he's going to go to a real doctor and they're going to be like, okay, you have the worst kind of cancer we've ever seen. Actually, a new type of cancer.
Yeah. The thing with Bryan Johnson is, like you said, much to your point about Peter Thiel, melted candle action going on with his face. And this is like a picture where he's wearing makeup. When you see him on Instagram and stuff, he looks freakish. That's the only way to describe it.
This is like
teach him how to contour. Jesus.
a lot of the facial plastic surgery, too, with people. You look younger, but you don't look better.
No.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah. It was,
Those are different things.
yeah. Bill Burr said, do you want to look 50 or do you want to look like a 50-year-old lizard? And that's kind of the status here.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he said, never let your mind decide. And he spoke about the merits of resisting natural human desire. Quote.
Yeah.
The broader picture here at Don't Die is we're at war with death. We are trying to eliminate, like, I could just hear this in an HBO documentary about the cult where everybody dies at the end. We're here to eliminate death. Johnson said, getting extra enthusiastic at one point when sharing his plan to test the foods most commonly consumed in this country for processing heavy metals and other chemicals. He most passionately decried specifically Lay's sour cream and onion potato chips. Apparently that is the deadliest thing you can eat, according to this guy, as a symbol of the flaws of the modern food industry. And he says he wants to elicit donations to test all foods to see whether they qualify as Don't Die certified.
I just want to say that we are at war with death is like the name of a metal song that should be happening.
Hell yeah.
Like an Amon Amarth, like Viking metal song. You know what I mean? None of this Tool stuff. Join me and you can live forever without an ounce of serotonin serotonin in your brain, and you can look like Odo from Deep Space Nine. Like, yay.
You can't go into the sun.
Yeah.
Do not go into the sun at all.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. For lunch, attendees were offered one of Johnson's staple meals consisting of quinoa and vegetables. Guests could also receive a palate cleanser of Johnson's quote-unquote longevity mix, a bright pink bitter liquid concoction of 13 active ingredients to support energy, metabolism, recovery, and vitality.
This is eating disorder behavior.
It is, yeah. It's boner drink plus anorexia happening.
This has the same vibe of like John Kellogg being like, "You eat my graham crackers so you won't jerk off."
That's right.
To heaven.
That is totally, Road to Wellsville. That's what this is. It should come as no surprise that Johnson, who has gone viral for undergoing a plasma transfusion from his teenage son and admits to loving being in the spotlight as the industry's guinea pig, how many skeptics he has. For one, he undergoes protocols that are not widely tested nor approved by the FDA. Nonetheless, the event attracted both fans and doubters. So he's got everybody coming in, even though he's the main subject. And one look at his Instagram, you're just like, give me the wrinkles.
Yeah.
Give me the wrinkles. It's fine.
Yeah,
I'll take crow's feet over looking like this guy.
I mean, buddy, you're literally a tech billionaire, and I guarantee women still don't want you. Like, if you lean into fucking Silver Fox, so you got a snowball's chance.
Yeah, does it say what model Tesla he drives?
Oh, it's the Cybertruck. It's 100. If he drives himself, if he leaves, there was actually a thing where he was on a podcast he went to India. And he was on a podcast with like some CEO of, I think it was like India's biggest like stock trader. And he left halfway through the podcast because he's like, the air quality is too terrible. I have to go. Like shit like that. So it hasn't, you're right. I mean, it's like totally infected his brain. It's not just an eating disorder. It's a living disorder. It's just existing.
Yeah, it just has OCD.
Yeah.
And a bunch of money.
Yeah, exactly. It's just like you flew all the way to India to do the podcast and you're like, no.
That just sounds like he's like, I just realized I'm racist against Indians. I gotta bounce.
Also, this is a fucking eating disorder. That's what this is.
Oh, yeah.
Let's call it what it is.
Yeah, absolutely. Bristol Rosenweig, a fractional I don't even know what the fuck this means. A fractional CMO for wellness and beauty brands. I'm just like, you mean
look that up.
defendant number one in the upcoming litigation?
Yeah.
CMO for wellness and beauty brands, who's based in New York, attended the event for both business and pleasure. Quote, "This space is fascinating, and I also feel it's difficult for consumers to navigate what's real and what's snake oil." It's like, it's all snake oil. The fuck are you talking about?
I'm not finding it difficult.
She knows that the booming longevity market is not going away. According to a report from Introspective Market Research, once again, a fake thing.
So chief CMO is a chief marketing officer, but a fractured one.
A fractional CEO.
It means that they are hired as a contractor or consultant.
So she was probably doing the same thing at Burger King last week, and now she's like, no, we must live forever. And then next week she'll be at Intel.
Yeah, some sort of consulting firm having to do with marketing
You
where
do
everyone's evil.
And it's like, if you can discover, like, hey, I am now officially immortal, people will just kill you because it's funny.
So the introspective market research suggests that by 2032, the anti-aging market will reach $2.3 billion. And I say, I don't know how to short stocks, but if someone who knows can tell me how, I will take that bet that it will not. Quote, she says, "I think people are moving further away from general wellness and more into trackable biohacking wellness as well as a general category so people know and can see results and track their progress."
See, there are people right now who their whole job is just making PowerPoints with like tracking biohacking wellness.
Yes.
And they make $270,000 a year.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, we were talking earlier about a friend of yours who I believe lives in a closet with 2 bunk beds.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, well, you know.
Yeah.
We went into the wrong industry.
We should have
here.
tracked biohacking wellness.
Right. And there's also
The boomers are right.
and there's also people who've been paid very well over the last 2 years to be like, oh yeah, AI is definitely the future, and did not see China making their own for free as a possibility, and now have they're just going to go on to another $1 million job, no problem.
Yeah.
If anyone wants to write an AI movie with me, let me know. I think we just need a couple sentences we can plug in. We can say we wrote it.
Ooh, that might be fun. We could read it on the air.
Oh God!
Ooh.
It would be like 90 fucking pages. God no.
No, I'll tell him to the elevator pitch. How about that?
What if we give it the prompt to make an episode of the Goods from the Woods podcast?
That's the thing is, I don't know if they've scraped us deep enough to where they could, but we'll see.
Bullshit. I'm important.
Scrape me, deep sneak, scrape me. So 29-year-old Anastasia Liakina came because she loves Bryan Johnson's energy on social media. Quote, I'm thinking about how to make my body healthier and how to eat healthy and how to keep my body young and beautiful. I'm like, just stop saying body all these.
How many people here weighed under 100 pounds is what I want to know.
At the conference was the collective weight. I mean, yeah, it's got to be, well, again, if you're dropping $350 to get into this stupid thing.
But if you eat quinoa and vegetables every day, there's no way you have muscle mass of any sort.
Last sentence here. The day wrapped up with a 3:30 p.m. dance party, which Johnson referred to as a health rave. And after all...
I am sober and I'm disgusted by that.
And he did this because he goes to bed at like 4 p.m.
Okay.
So anyway, that's
what it's
happening.
just like soft music playing. It's like ASMR, like gong and flute sounds.
I promise you, it's that DJ music. The two DJs that founded the energy drink that we found. It's just the music in the elevator at the W Hotel, just soft, fucking whatever. And it's just a bunch of like very thin old people just going, yeah, all right, we love this.
You know, I have to say, there's like an LA crystal store.
There's a lot of them.
Yeah, and when you walk in, are the ladies running the desk really passive aggressive? Do you walk around going, this is all entirely bullshit?
Yeah.
Of course you do. Women might do that, but we don't do whatever the fuck that was just now.
Yeah.
Like, we might be like, yeah, fuck science. I believe in magic, which is dumb, but at least we don't turn science into something dumb. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, and with the crystal store people, it's like, I'm willing to, if you're passionate about your thing, I'm probably not going to pull me over to your side, but I'm willing to hear you out. This is the most dispassionate people in the world. Mm-hmm. These are people who are solely focused on themselves living forever at a great personal expense that could be spent better doing literally anything else.
Do they have plans for like 50 years in the future or what's going on here?
No, they just think they're still going to be sitting in air conditioning and programming or whatever the fuck they think they do for these Silicon Valley companies. They're not contributing shit. At least a crystal lady might be interesting and have some weird theories about how, string theory relates to horoscopes. Okay.
Yeah.
That's more interesting. I will, I got dumb beliefs, I think rock and roll can save my soul. You know what I mean? Everybody's entitled to dumb beliefs, but if you believe in nothing, fuck you. If you believe in nothing and are willing to throw a bunch of money to continue to believe in nothing forever and ever, fuck you.
I'm just imagining America devolving into an all-out civil war, like the end of Terminator 2 at Judgment Day, where there's just blood and wailing in the streets, and then you come out, Rivers, and be like, you know what, I think we can say this is rock and roll.
No, it's a thing. It's a thing. I thought I was raised with like no religion, right? But every once in a while, I'm at a concert, I'm just like, oh, this is church feeling. This is you're like, yeah, man, fuck Yellow, listen to that solo or whatever. That's I get it.
That's fun.
I get it on some
like
level.
that.
Yeah. See, I could work at a crystal store.
Yeah.
I'd talk your ear off about this and amethyst.
When you listen to Fish, you're closer to God.
Yeah, fuck yeah, brother. Fuck yeah. Yeah. Dude, you haven't lived till you've heard a 35-minute version of You Enjoy Myself.
Yeah. I sell mushrooms to 19-year-olds.
So that's the update for Manhattan, folks.